3 US Open Cup upsets. Man United signed Swedish defender. Bayern spend €41.5 million. Southampton sack their manager. And a defender in Argentina has been needling opponents, literally. Good morning. You're listening to The Goalmouth and Checks for Beard. I'm not Taylor Rockwell. I'm Darryl Grove. Hello. It's Thursday, June 15th, so a very happy birthday to Marcus Hanneman, Oliver Kahn, and, best of all, the magical Michael Laudrup. Let's start with some US Open Cup. As George told you yesterday, the Christos FC amateur team fairy tale is over, but not all the magic of the cup exited with Christos. Last night, 3 second-tier teams made it through to the US Open Cup 5th round by beating MLS opposition. You had USL team Sacramento Republic FC beating Real Salt Lake 4-1. Sure, it was a mostly second-string RSL team, but still, 4-1 is a beating. As RSL soapbox writer Andy Graff put it, quote, RSL's defence is not so much a leaky bucket as a giant sinkhole, unquote. But congrats to Sac Republic for opening up that sinkhole. Speaking of sinkholes, there was also a US Open Cup Florida derby as NASL team Miami FC beat MLS team Orlando City SC, proving perhaps that football is better than soccer. Now, this is not the David Beckham Miami, to be clear. It's actually the team David Beckham's Miami will very likely put out of business. But in the meantime, on to the 5th round with Miami FC. Last and by no means least, in terms of attendance, more than 30,000 FC Cincinnati fans saw their USL team beat a more or less full-strength Columbus Crew 1-0 at Nippert Stadium. Since his MLS ambitions are not so secret, so this may be a preview of a long-running Ohio derby. Who will these teams play in the next round, you ask? Well, the draw for the US Open Cup 5th round is 11 a.m. Eastern today and will be streamed live on US Soccer's Facebook page, because that's how we do things now. Let's get to the big transfer news. It's mid-June, so we're out of the pure rumour zone and into the money on the table, signature on the contracts, players holding up the scarves of their new teams kind of territory. Manchester United have signed 22-year-old Swedish defender Victor Lindelof for £31 million from Benfica. This move has been a long time coming, but that just means this was a player Jose Mourinho really wanted. Like I said, Lindelof is only 22, but will almost certainly go into United's starting 11. Former Benfica defensive partner Luisao says Lindelof plays like he's in his 30s, but not in a pipe and slipper way, more in a calm, composed veteran reader of the game kind of way. So I'm predicting Lindelof will not get lost, will be a modern day Prometheus, will propel Manchester United into Tomorrowland, and that other Manchester United defenders like, say, Chris Smalling will be merely the leftovers. And if you get any of those jokes, then you are a nerd and I salute you. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich have spent €41.5 million, which could rise to €47.5 million, on 22-year-old midfielder Corentin Tolisso from Lyon. That's an awful lot of money. And to be honest, I was more or less ignorant of what Talisa was doing for Lyon last season. But I've been doing some reading, I've been watching some video, and I can see why Bayern are so excited. I'll link to a really good Stats Bomb story with some great Tolisso video for you in today's Goalmouth email. Also, Renato Sanchez says, A, hello, and B, would anyone like me to play football for you next year, because I really used to enjoy doing that. Other transfer rumours. Sunderland keeper Jordan Pickford is apparently having a medical and is about to be announced as a £30 million signing for Everton. The aforementioned Chris Smalling might be up for sale, with West Ham, Everton, maybe even Arsenal showing some interest. And proper rumour time here. PSG's Marco Verratti was apparently spotted in Ibiza having dinner with Leo Messi. If you connect the dots, then it spells out Verratti to Barcelona. He's the exact type to fit into that midfield. That said, I just got back from a family vacation to Ibiza and I didn't see Verratti or Messi in any of the restaurants we were in. So, who knows? Other quick news. The Premier League fixture list was released last night. As The Guardian's The Fiver email dryly summarised it, every team to play every other team twice. But your team's schedule is out there, so if you want to, go find it. One man who doesn't need to look at the schedule is Claude Puel. Puel has been fired by Southampton despite finishing 8th in the Premier League and reaching the League Cup final last season. Interestingly, Saints fans don't seem too upset by this because that 8th place finish came with just 46 points. And apparently Southampton were not much fun to watch this past season. No word yet on who will replace Puel. And finally, your new least favourite player is Argentinian defender Federico Allende. Here's why. Allende's team Sporto Pacifico beat much bigger team Estudiantes in the first round of the Copa Argentina this week. Big upset, and Sporto Pacifico were praised for unsettling and defeating the bigger team. But then, yesterday, in a radio interview, Allende claimed he repeatedly jabbed Estudiantes strikers with a needle, an actual needle, throughout the game. Here's what he said, quote, "I kept piercing the Estudiantes strikers with a needle," unquote. He also said, "We know that top division players don't like contact. They don't like it if we waste time or if we play dirty. So that was the way to do it. Football is like that. Football is for the clever." Maybe it is, Senor Allende, but bragging about it on the radio does not count as clever, because now you've been caught. And Pacifico's president, Hector Moncada, has said he will expel Allende from the club for tarnishing their reputation. That is all from me. Taylor Rockwell, the real Taylor Rockwell, will be with you tomorrow. I'll leave you with today's goalmouth top tip. Don't stand too close to Federico Allende.